没事。Okay. Okay. Welcome to my section today. Thank you for your time. They are all my roommates, and this is Juno and this is Dami. And we have two education sections today. The one we call diabetes diet. So as they named, so it's a diet for people who has diabetes. So we also call it carbohydrate control diet. So basically we limited the carb control intake by cutting down the food they normally eat every day. So first, what carbs? What are carbs? So carbs are the main energy source to provide energy for our body. So after people eat food with carbohydrate, it will be digested and absorbed and broke down to easy sugar, glucose. So it will affect people's blood glucose. So that's easy to understand. And carbs exist in many forms of food, include milk, starchy vegetables, and any sugary drinks or sweets. Basically, you can see them here right now. And when we're talking about vegetables, there are two kinds of vegetables. One we call starchy vegetables, and another one we call non-starchy vegetables. So for carb control diet, we recommend people to focus on focus on the non-starchy vegetables, such as green leaves or fresh fruits like that. And but for the starch vegetables, it's like we have here beans and corns and lentils and butternut squash and our favorite food taro and yams. Yeah. So the main ways we tell people to focus on their carbs intake is to do carbs counting. It means to know how much carbs you eat. So basically we tell people if you eating 15 grams of carbs, it means you eat 1/3 of carb serving. So reading labels is really important here. So we can grab any food here on the table. So
here talking about this one, right?
Yes. So they are talking about total carbohydrates. Normally total carbohydrates including starches, fiber and sugar. Those are three big categories in carbohydrates. So this one I have the Girl Scout cookie. So it has 21 grams of carbs here. So it means it's about 1/2 servings of carb. So for the corn you have here, it says 14 grams of carbs per 1 serving. So the important thing here we need to know, so how much is equal to 1 serving. So in this one serving means 1/2 cups. So 1/2 cups, it will gives you 14 grams of carbs, which is about how much servings?
Almost 1 serving.
Yeah, that's probably 1 serving. So also it also tells you how many servings per containers. So you see here is 3.5. It means if you eat the whole can of this sweet corn, you have to multiply the 14 grams by 3.5, so you can get your total carbs number and your servings. So we recommend people to have their carbs intakes evenly spread in their meals and snacks. Usually 3 to 5 carbs per meal and 1 to 2 carbs per snack.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How much carbs per adult need per day?
Usually we about 45% of your total calories.
Oh.
That's your total carbohydrates you need per day.
Okay.
But that's not
Oh.
And besides label reading, another important thing is to do meal plan. So you have ideas of how much carbs you want to put in your food, right? And I have a couple of tips for people who have this. Like the first one is to watch your portion size. Like you still can eat the food you like, but more importantly to control how much you will eat them. And because our idea is to keep your blood sugar consistently, not pretty high or pretty low. Also, eat some protein, like food with protein could help slow down the carbs digestion, so it won't let your blood sugar go very high if you eat something high in carbohydrates. So, and another important thing about vegetables, as I mentioned before, there are starchy vegetables and non-starchy vegetables. But if you eating less than 3 servings of vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, you won't count those into your carbs intake. So for example, if you serving size for vegetables, if you eat 1 cup of raw vegetables like your salad, or you eat half cup of your cooked vegetable, you grill them. So if you eat 3 of them, you count 1 carb serving, because 1 serving of non-starchy vegetables usually give you 5 grams of carbs. So if you eat less than 3 servings of them, it won't cost you 1 serving of carbs. So that's it for our carb control diet. So do you have any questions for me now?
I have a question. So you talk about starch and non-starch vegetables. You might have you might tell me that corn is starch vegetables.
Yeah.
But if I travel in Asia, there are so many kinds of vegetables. How can I tell them by just looking at them?
That's a good question. Usually we have a food list. It will tell us what's non-starchy vegetables and what's starchy vegetables. But another way you can tell if that is starchy vegetable is you can tell by eating them, right? Like for example, for potato, you know there is different taste like green beans or corns. I don't know how to explain, but when you eat fresh like green vegetables, you won't able to eat something like starch, you know. But I don't think I explained this question well, but I think I will do more research on it. But that's really good question, because we usually refers to a food list to see what kind of food is a starch or non-starch. But that's really good questions.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have one more question. You mentioned that for like 3 serving vegetable, we need to intake per day at least. But how big is per serving for vegetable?
Oh, so usually we use measuring cups for the vegetables. So it will tells you, okay, this is a half cup of serving. This is a cup of serving. But usually 1 cup is around big, same size of my fist. So that's about one cup, I believe, right? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So yeah, and usually we use measuring cups to do all the measuring, so you have idea. But I believe when you use more and more the measuring cups, you have more ideas about how much. Yes.
How much you intake.
Yes. Do you have more questions on this one?
I'm good.
Okay, that's
Thank
good.
you. Thanks.
That's the section for our carb control diet. Okay, thank you.